everybody, Mark, aka The Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. Hope you all are doing well. Today, we are at the movie theater. Different movie theater for me normally. I used to come to this theater a lot, back when I lived closer to it, but since I moved, this theater is about an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes from me. And I had to come up to this theater because I am going to see the new film from A24 called Past Lives. And this movie, if you're kind of connected to the film universe type thing, whatever you want to call it, you've probably heard of this movie. Everybody who's seen it has been floored by it, it seems. It had great reactions out of the Sundance Film Festival back in, I think, January, and finally has a wide release. And the wide release actually started in June, but we are here well into July, and this movie just would not come to a theater near me. Like, for whatever reason, I know it's a smaller movie, but it still hasn't come to a theater close to me, so I had to make the trek up here to see it. This is a film directed by Celine Song. This is actually her directorial debut. And I know little to nothing about her. I know she's from South Korea originally, but the film is in English, I think, mostly. So I'm very excited to see this. I've heard so many people say it's so good. It's got some very, very early Oscar buzz. We'll see if that holds throughout the year. But I've heard so many people say this is the best film of the year so far. So I'm really excited to watch it. I'm going to head in there. I will see you guys back in a couple hours for me, a couple seconds for you guys, and I'll give you my thoughts on Past Lives.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, just left the theater from seeing Past Lives, and real quick, I apologize if you hear the air conditioner or if the camera shakes a little bit. It's unbearable, the heat today. Gotta have the AC on a little bit. My thoughts on this movie: this was incredible. Such a beautiful film in almost every sense of the word. Like, everything about this film was beautiful, and that's what I was struck by while watching it. It's a beautiful story. It has beautiful cinematography, beautiful direction, a beautiful score to it as well. I mean, it is insane that this is Celine Song's first movie, like first feature film. She appears like a director at the top of her game in this movie. I mean, every scene, every shot, it looks so meticulously crafted. Every shot I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is so gorgeous. Like, the framing, the actual shots themselves, like, it's set in New York City, and you get so many gorgeous shots of New York City, the Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Liberty, you know, the Manhattan skyline, all of that just looks so gorgeous. But then, you know, the framing on some smaller scenes as well is so unique and so interesting. A lot of creative choices with the way that they told the story. It kind of jumps through time quite a bit. It covers roughly 20-some years in the lives of these people. And I thought it did so pretty, I don't know what the word is for it, pretty effectively. The only thing really that I could gripe at a little bit with this movie is how it does jump through time, and the pacing of like the first act or so. Is a little bit slow for some people, I would assume, but I didn't feel that at all. I thought it was paced really well. The runtime flew by to me, and it's not overly long either, so there's that. But the story at the heart of this, like, every once in a while you'll watch movies that just kind of, to you anyway, hit at the heart of the human experience, and this movie is one of those movies. It hits at the core of the human experience so well, and it makes you feel crazy things. Like, you shouldn't. One would imagine, you know, when I grew up, how about this? Trying to explain my thoughts here. When I grew up watching movies, you know, as a kid, you don't watch movies like intently as you do as an adult. But I don't think I ever could have dreamed, even as I got older, that movies could hit me emotionally like they do sometimes. this is one of those. Like, this is a phenomenal experience. Also a phenomenal theater experience. It's one of my favorite theater experiences that I've had in a while. I used to really love coming to this theater when I lived closer to it. It's a huge theater, 16 screens. They have at least one IMAX screen. But this movie, obviously smaller movie, it's also getting ready to leave this theater. So they put us in, I think, their smallest screen. And for some reason, they forgot to turn on the movie. So we got started like 10 minutes late and only saw a couple previews. But once we finally got going, it was good. And there were about 5 other people in the theater with me, all fantastic moviegoers. They weren't talking, they weren't giving their commentary, they weren't on their phones. It was wonderful, a wonderful theater experience. So I am giving Past Lives a 5 out of 5. Perfect rating for me on the first watch. I'm excited to watch this again. I don't know if it'll be expanding to theaters. This movie should be everywhere. Like, I want to start a campaign or something. Get this movie everywhere. Now, realistically, if I go to my local theaters, alright, sorry about that. My phone overheated yet again. The heat is insane. So, really quickly, I'm going to wrap up my thoughts here. I loved Past Lives, and definitely, if it's at a theater near you and you haven't seen it yet, go watch it in a theater. It's definitely deserving of that experience. 5 out of 5, like I said, is the grade. Phenomenal film, and I'm so excited for this movie. I love it, and I'm really hoping that this very early Oscar buzz, like I said earlier, continues for this film, because it is fantastic. All right, with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing week here. It's only Tuesday. Got a lot of week left ahead for us. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will check in with you guys later. Bye.